Alright, hello people. My name's William, and this is my buddy,
Caleb.
who is also a faggot. And today we're playing Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition again, and the one of many attempts at this game. I actually I got up to 100
attempt.
with this stage. That's pretty good. Oh no, that's because I cheated.
Lame.
Alright, now it's been a while since I played this game, but muscle memory should start coming back to me very shortly. Now this is the... Oh, that's right. Now this is the special edition, where they added Virgil and, Lady and Trish? Yeah, Trish. And, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Alright, this is the dude from like the first game, isn't it?
No.
Alright.
Virgil is, Dante's twin brother.
Alright.
And he was in... He was in the first game, but he was being mind controlled, and he looked different because he was in devil form all the time. So you didn't know it was. So Dante didn't know it was his brother because the Demon King had sort of mutated him
Yeah, right.
to look different. It was only once he killed him and the amulet fell out when he killed him, and he realized that it was actually his brother.
Rough.
I mean, they have a sort of what's the word? Conflicting relationship or something.
Yeah.
And then he appears properly in the third game, like this. Now, I've made the controls different, so how do I... I need to try and find what I did, because that's right. That's... But I've only done that so I can do that.
We're juicing them.
Whoppa! Oh yeah, love that fucking sheath. Go put the sheath back. Oh no, that's double trigger. We don't want that. That's lock on. Now I've got that to switch. So what's that? Oh, and that switches as well. Okay, okay, I got you. Whoppa!
Hey.
Wish I could do that, but I can't. I can do some of those, but not all of them. Lady was introduced in the third game as the female character.
Lady.
Yeah. I mean, her real name's Mary, but she doesn't like it because her dad gave it to her, and her dad's a cunt.
Right.
So she just... No, she doesn't go by Lady. It's just the name Dante gives her, because he doesn't know her name, and she refuses to give it. Yeah, basically. Oh, yeah.
Smoking style. Shazam!
And Trish was the female main in the first game who was pretending to be Dante's ally, but actually working for Demon King.
Bitch.
She eventually comes over to his side, but not after betraying him first.
Naturally.
Yeah. And he saves her because... And this is the weird bit, because Dante is... Because Trish is modelled after Dante's mum.
Well,
Yeah, to look like her, because Mundus wants to use that to his advantage to sort of, you know, make Dante lose his... Oh, let down his guard around her. Because Dante's mum was killed when he was 8 in front of him.
alright, okay.
Which demons murdered her.
Remember what she looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would mess with you.
But then at the end they sort of like kiss and fall in love, but like she looks exactly like... She is a clone of his mother. She just wears her hair differently.
Ooh.
And so it brings about this whole sort of Oedipus complex thing.
Yeah, that's...
Which I think is sort of why they brought Lady in to...
Because they were like, oh, this is getting a bit weird, guys.
Yeah.
Those dudes are cool. Dead, but cool.
Yeah. They're alright. They're like Alto Angelos, I think. I think they were created using Virgil's DNA.
Shazam. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's not much else to go for the story there. I'll be focusing on this quite a bit, so... Otherwise, we'll be talking topics today. Try and get through the million of articles we've got going.
Yeah.
Oh, dick.
I think. There was that crazy tracking pill thing.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing.
Yeah. So what's FDA approved? So that's American, but yeah, basically a pill that can send information about your person back to your doctor or a central database.
I think it's mainly used to tell people if people are actually taking their meds.
Yeah. Yeah. The pills to be used for schizophrenia disorder and depression in adults will be fitted with a tracking device that can sync up to a smartphone app and report information back to your doctor. The pill called Abilify MySight, anyway, includes an ingestible sensor that the size of a grain of sand. The sensor activates when it comes in contact with stomach acid. At this point, it communicates with a wearable patch, informing it and your physician that you have indeed taken your prescribed medication. The patch also tracks other metrics such as your activity levels, and with your consent, will share the information with up to 4 people of your choice. Patients that choose to share this data with their physicians and family members or carers will be able to revoke the access at any point. It reckons.
I sort of thought it was a bit insidious, really.
Yeah.
So, like, how long until they just start using it without telling people?
Yeah. Or, well, I suppose it's one of those things that so many of these technologies get invented, but they don't have the security protocols to back them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can track your movements. That's one of the things. Yeah. Well,
The
but then
movement
again,
tracking.
see, there's some people that you probably want where they are. Like,
Yeah. Like, severe schizophrenic patients. and
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
Like that.
Like for their own safety, not for like risk to other people per
Yeah.
se. But
I mean, that too.
yeah, but there's a pretty low. Schizophrenics have got a pretty low risk associated.
Yeah, I know.
They're
I'm more
risk
thinking
to
of America
themselves. Yeah.
than with all these, not just schizophrenics, it's just the first thing that came to mind, but just mentally ill people in general.
Yeah.
Because you can still buy a gun in America if you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Or acquire a weapon.
Yeah.
Whereas, you wouldn't have a problem here. Here would be more for their own safety. Although really you just want to be able to make sure that they took the pill.
Yeah, experts have concerns about how such pills could be used in the future, and people online are worried that this a pill that tracks your movements will be given first to people with a condition strongly associated with paranoia.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
They have a point.
yeah.
I almost feel like people are watching me all the time.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's got a bunch of other stuff. Could save the government, etc., lots of money by making sure people actually do take the medication and get treated properly.
I'm so fucking sexy. Yeah. See, I'm just doing so terrible at this game. Like, there's so many people out there, like, Let's Players and stuff. I mean, I was, like, second in the country at one point. Second in the world as well. Just by terms of score. But in terms of gameplay skill, like, fucking hell.
Yeah. So, that was pretty cool. Lord of the Rings prequel TV series. Didn't hear that. That was
Pretty
one.
cool.
And it's another streaming service. Fuck. Like, I just need to make sure I have friends with like
Yeah.
each one of the streaming services so I can have the passwords. Which is honestly a way more efficient way of doing it. Like if you each have each other's passwords, then you
Yeah.
only have to pay for one each, and everyone gets access. But I suppose they'll start cracking down on it. Like I think
Eventually,
HBO, you can. It's like a one person, one subscription thing. I think.
Yeah, but how do they tell? You could just have you
Logging
logged in
in,
and
yeah.
having everyone. There's just no way you could.
Yeah, that's right. I suppose. Yeah, I mean they have restrictions on the number of devices, but I mean I use a few different
Yeah.
devices, so
I mean that device works for yourself. It just means like you can't watch the thing on multiple TVs
yeah.
as well. Like you just have to have the browser open.
Yeah, I think Netflix has got like, you know, 5 devices and only 3 at any one time or something like that. Yeah. But they've got a tiered subscription, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
So the more you pay, which be all right. You just give your friend $1,
Yeah.
and they can just up their subscription
Yeah.
because it's only like an extra $2 for an extra screen.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. Blah blah, just give me a quick scan.
These guys are good.
People, blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, it's a thing. Doesn't seem to be. No, they're just postulating as to what storyline it might take.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing actually.
I think it's
concrete
just been
in it.
announced. I don't think there's any other bit of evidence, which means it could still be in development hell for the rest of eternity.
Yeah. Something with Robin Williams.
Is that?
I don't know. You
That's right. It was just Robin Williams threatened to beat the shit out of someone who was an asshole. I thought that was pretty funny,
Nice.
and just made me like, Robin Williams was a cool dude.
He was a cool dude.
Yeah. It was more that I think that this dude was being a dick to someone else, and then Robin Williams stepped in and was like, "I will beat the shit out of you, mate."
Yeah.
Ooh. And whoopah! Yeah, this guy's a little bit difficult to deal with, this Virgil.
Man, mob of 20,000 people gathered. Village burned to the ground after man posts comment about Muhammad on Facebook.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with people? It's ridiculous. Burned down a Hindu village in Bangladesh after rumours spread that a resident had insulted the Prophet Muhammad. See, I just can't understand or tolerate that kind of
Yeah.
behaviour. It's just bizarre. Who cares if... Yeah, basically who cares? That level of fanaticism is just astounding.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, and the best thing about playing this game is like, there's going to be a Devil May Cry 5. It's so sick. And not like a continuation of that bastardized piece of shit that they got.
Yeah,
Oh, whoops.
what was the one with the black hair and
Yeah.
smoking and shit?
Yeah, that bullshit. Which they took the smoking out in the final version because everyone hated it.
It was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Because, I mean, originally the original creator didn't want Dante to smoke because he thought it was cooler to not smoke. And then these new guys are like, oh, it's so cool to smoke. I'm just so badass.
Yeah.
Look at how cool I am. I just don't care.
I hate that.
That's why I hated the game. The story wasn't too bad. Just wasn't a big fan of... I don't know, I hated the art designer as well. He was a cunt. Whoop.
Right.
Whoop.
Well,
Whoop. Missed me with your gay shit.
Christopher Pines. Christopher
You're
Pines.
Christopher Payne.
Yeah. Well, he is a pain. Anyway, Christopher Pine's Twitter account likes a porn tweet.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Apparently, because and fair enough, it liked this. It was pretty. I think someone hacked his account.
Yeah, it happened at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but it was funny though.
Yeah. Honestly, like how there must be some people that just do not have lives that follow those people. Like,
Yeah.
like I suppose all the journalists, all the political journalists and stuff probably follow them, and every time there's a tweet, they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually,
yeah.
it was I think it was someone followed him just to be a cunt sort of thing.
Yeah. Federal Labor wants an investigation into Cabinet Minister Christopher Pyne's social media after he blamed hackers for his Twitter account liking an explicit gay pornographic video. I was hacked overnight, Mr. Pyne Pyne tweeted this morning, saying he had been asleep at 2 a.m. when the like occurred. Yeah. Since removed the like.
And fair enough, because I think that he would be one of those boring cunts that would be asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You mean like me?
Yeah, like you boring cunts.
Mm-hmm. But you work at night.
Yeah.
That's an excuse.
Yeah, but I also am awake at night when I'm not working, because even when I didn't have a job, I was awake at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You're such a weirdo.
I think you're just boring.
You're just a weirdo. Anyway, I like it when politicians get hacked. What's that Milo Yiannopoulos fuckwit up to?
That's
that's
nothing,
transracial Filipino.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's nothing to do with
weird.
Milo. Yeah, that's just who happened to share it because he had his own agendas.
Yeah.
But I did find it. It's just a little bit stupid and weird. Like how transracial.
Yeah.
So he's a dude that thinks he's
who identifies as being
identifies as
Filipino.
a Filipino. Yeah.
Yeah. That is. Let's ask the Filipinos on that one.
Yeah, and it's sort of muddying the issue for people that are actually trans. Because then other people are going to be, who are already sort of iffy about trans people, are always going to go, well, look at this guy. He's obviously insane.
And it's like, at which point do you say, no, I don't just really like Filipino culture. I like, even though I've never been there in my whole life, I am Filipino. Like,
No.
I mean, well, I suppose, like if both your parents were Filipino and you were born in another country but raised with a strong connection to your culture, then you could argue it.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
if you were born there.
But this dude looks
Like-
like a just white dude. Just white.
But I mean, otherwise, oh shit.
Florida native Jadu, born Adam Wheeler, drives around a bright purple tuk-tuk, a vehicle used for public transport in the Philippines, to feel closer to his Filipino identity.
So he just lives in the. So what? I don't. What?
Yeah, he lives in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just
A
Go-
white
go live in the
Floridian
Philippines?
man who claims to be a transracial Filipino fears losing his job after an interview with WTSP. What the hell that is? Jadu is part of a small but growing community who consider themselves to be transracial. The term refers to someone who is born one race but identifies with another.
I can't believe they actually have a term for it.
Jadu, the creator of the Transracialism Support Group on Facebook, said he felt a strong connection to Filipino culture growing up. Whenever I'm around the music, around the food, I feel like I'm in my own skin, he said. I'd watch the History Channel sometimes for hours. When it came to that, nothing else intrigued me more but things about Filipino culture.
It just means you enjoy the thing.
Yeah,
As
I don't
in, to the
understand
society.
why, because so many people, style their houses after the Moroccan style and stuff, because
Yeah.
that's what they like. That's what they feel most comfortable in. That doesn't mean you're that culture. Like,
Yeah.
Even if you learn the language and
But I don't
everything,
get.
like-
I don't get how like that just doesn't make you Filipino though. Like
Yeah.
that is a race of people. You can enjoy Filipino culture,
Yeah,
but physically you are not Filipino.
yeah.
You don't have to be this transracial thing to enjoy a culture.
Yeah.
Like I quite enjoy elements of Japanese culture, but you know I don't.
Oh, speaking of which, I've got an
Yeah.
article that goes with that. It's a nice segue, William. If I can find it.
Oh, you mean
There!
that Catholic statue with the bread as the dick?
That's good, but no. This is about Japan
Yeah.
and the Ainu, AINU. These were the original inhabitants of Japan.
Ah.
Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. Yeah.
Did they live in caves?
Says that Japan has a reputation for being about as homogenous as a country can be, but the people who would eventually become the Japanese weren't always from the island nation. They came across the sea about 2,300 years ago, which is why there's so much parallels between Chinese and Japanese, like a lot of the text and stuff. And when they came ashore, they were greeted by the people who came before. Meet the Ainu. Today, the official population of the Ainu in Japan is a paltry 25,000, but there's a good reason to suspect that that number is quite a bit higher. That's because countries of discrimination and forceful assimilation have led to many Japanese people with Ainu ancestry hiding that fact, or simply being unaware of it. In fact, it was only 2008 that the Japanese government officially recognized the existence of the Ainu as an indigenous people, although their distinct language, culture and religious practices have survived for millennia. The Ainu language is unrelated to any other known language on the planet, and their religion and cultural traditions do not have much to do with any of their closest neighbours. They also look different from the greater population of Japanese. They have thick, curly hair that often grows blonde or red. They have eyes.
Okay.
Their eyes range from brown to blue, and their skin is paler than their Japanese neighbours. And as so often happens, they've suffered terrible injustices as a result of their differences. I was like, well, that's familiar. You know, so yeah. The picture here that is there looks actually very Aboriginal, like Australian Aboriginal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's odd that they have red, and so anyone with that heritage has red and blonde hair.
Oh, can
Okay.
happen. Like it just pops up every now and again.
Because otherwise, Japan only has black hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they're all from like Chinese ancestry. As a general rule. Yeah. So they're on a relatively isolated island. Yeah, well. Yeah.
That implies inbreeding.
Oh yeah, well that's what they were saying.
Oh, dick.
I just read that bit. About the full assimilation. Yeah. Because assimilation is usually,
Yeah.
loss of culture and interbreeding.
But
But
so
yes.
much inbreeding in our culture. It's irritating.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I thought it was kind of interesting. But a bit more information about them. Yeah. In 1899, the Japanese government took inspiration from the treatment of indigenous people in the American West. Under the Meiji Restoration, and the Ainu had their traditional lands taken from them, and their language and cultural
Bit too
practices
slow.
were outlawed. It's a depressingly familiar story, and the damage done is only recently being addressed. So yeah, it was like Again, I never I'd never thought of that side of Japan at all. I mean, I knew that the Japanese culture as it is now is sort of strongly linked to Chinese, but
Okay, I didn't know that.
well, the counting system was very similar.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know who was there first. Yeah.
I should look more into that.
Yeah, it says humans didn't evolve there, obviously, so at some point they must have come over from the mainland. What do we know is that there were people on Honshu, the large central island, as early as the 14th millennium BCE.
Well, one thing difficult about playing with the sound down is I can't hear enemies coming back behind me.
Turn it up a little bit.
Nah. Might pick up on the record.
Headphones.
Then I won't be able to hear you.
I'll just leave one off. Yeah. Yeah, so dating from pottery and things like that. Yeah. Ainu and Jomon are one and the same. Oh, okay. So
What?
it's a different. Yeah, so there was evidence of a civilization of the 14th millennium called the Jomon.
German?
Jomon Mongol. Jomon. Yeah. And that was marked by particular patterns and styles of pottery. But they weren't the last ones to migrate to Japan, and that's led some people to believe that the Ainu and the Jomon are one and the same. So they a relatively advanced culture with pottery and stuff. Just came in and messed this shit up.
Yeah. You do that a lot.
Yeah. Man. So the Japanese are just as bad as the rest of us.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Unsurprising.
So that was worthwhile looking at, people. The Ainu. A-I-N-U.
Well, just the original cultures of every nation, really.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about met too many of them.
Australia's still got the largest surviving unbroken culture.
We're also the youngest society.
Hey?
As in terms of white settlement, we're also the youngest.
Oh yeah, the youngest country,
Yeah.
as Australia. Yep. Bunch of stuff on here.
Yeah.
So I had to scroll right up to get to that one because I saw the link and I was like, hey. Homeland scandal. Just one about banks screwing up again and
Put my eyes down for a second.
loaning money to people overseas that they shouldn't be and shit like
Thanks
that.
for always
You're
doing
like,
that. But speaking of, you know what just happened recently? Is fucking Labour and the Greens have been calling for a royal commission into the banks, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the the Liberal Party has just been like flat out, no, we're not going to do it. I mean, they even postponed Parliament a week so they wouldn't have to do it because at the moment the Liberal Party has a minority government. I think they don't have enough seats without Barnaby Joyce and a couple of other people. So Malcolm Turnbull's postponed it a week, so that way it'll be after the election,
Yeah.
and then they'll have enough seats to be able to push through stuff.
Yeah.
So basically he's running like a little coward. But then, of course, and so he's like, oh no, we won't be doing a royal commission into the banks. We'll pass gay marriage and we'll... Although I think, yeah, that's... I think that was last week that they didn't go into Parliament. I mean, even Bob Catter hated it. And I hate siding with Bob Catter. But they said they won't do it. They were going to settle the citizenship debacle and try and fix that up. or and get gay marriage passed. At which point, then like the bank CEOs have come along and gone, yeah, maybe we should have a commission into Royal Commission into banking, and so the banks have started one. But what's irritating about that is that means Malcolm Turnbull has, because he's such a ballless prick, has allowed the banks to dictate their own Royal Commission. Unless, of course, but I have no idea why banking CEOs would deliberately ruin it for themselves.
Well, it's one of those things. It might just be like some of the good guys that are going. There's a few amongst us that are ruining it for the rest, you know.
Fair enough. I just view all banking CEOs as cunts. But yeah, so then the banks have come along and gone, yeah, maybe a Royal Commission into the banks isn't such a bad idea. And so now the Liberal Party's gone, okay, we'll have to do it. And so we are probably going to get a Royal Commission into the banks. But as to how good it is, we don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it means less banking bullshit, you know, people laundering money where they shouldn't and that sort of shit.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things that, like, Australia is like one of the second most in debt nation in the world, or something like that. Like the population.
Okay.
Because of property prices and shit, and people are always having to take loans to do anything.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, it will maybe have a flow-on effect that they'll tighten up a bit and not give so many people loans. Which, you know, it'd be shit if I ever want a loan, but another loan, I should say. I couldn't believe I got a loan. I had part-time work under 2 jobs, but...
Yeah, well, that's how the financial crisis came about.
Yeah.
People, banks giving out loans to people that they shouldn't get. Like, it's the bank's fault that happened.
Yeah.
And they all got bailed out. They didn't lose their homes and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
As in, like, the bosses of the banks. I'm sure a lot of banking employees got fired. But the bosses, that was their fault. Playing with numbers that didn't exist.
Yeah.
I think that was David Mitchell said something along those lines. It's like, they're just assholes playing with numbers that don't exist. Surely we just couldn't write the number back in.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's stock
I thought that so
digital
much.
numbers.
It's all just digital crap. Yeah. I mean, obviously economists would say otherwise and give reasons why, but...
Yeah, probably talking out their ass.
Well... Yeah, sort of. I think it's only to do with like systems that are already in place, like with money value and stuff. That if you can do that, then the money has no value, and then what the state is the fucking marketplace. Then I'm like, well, but it's already like a capitalist mindset anyway. That it's all based on that. That's why I keep thinking of shit like space exploration and science research and stuff, and like, it's all just, you know, it's not like they're handing these guys stacks of gold, and that's what you've got, and oh no, we're going to run out, we can't give you that much, we've got to give the military this many stacks of gold. Like, it's not like that, you know. So why the fuck don't they just say, right, just do it, I don't care. Just do it. Just get into space, do the research, advance our civilization, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, they're just assholes. Oh, what? What?
Well, they're selfish assholes. That's what I was saying. And I say that from, you know, like the point of view from somebody who's got a minimal income compared to other people.
Yeah.
Personally, I have no income.
This is true. Surely, unless, you know, some willing people out there would want to pay for us to talk shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would.
Because we're entertaining. And occasionally we have, like...
I think, you know, probably could go,
Useful.
occasionally we're entertaining, and sometimes we have interesting stuff.
Shush. We're always entertaining. Oh, hey, there you go. Following on from capitalist mindsets, Leonardo da Vinci, one of his paintings got sold.
Okay.
Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi sells for 593 million, becoming the world's most expensive painting
It's
of
so
all
unfortunate
time.
that most painters don't make any money until after they die.
Yeah, by a few hundred years in this game, a couple of hundred years. Yeah. The only privately owned painting created by Leonardo da Vinci has attracted a winning bid of 526 million dollars Australian, 400 million US, making it the most expensive painting. Yeah.
God damn it, I used to be able to do no damage runs on this fucking game. Upsets me.
In 1958, when it was advertised as a School of Da Vinci work, it sold for the paltry sum of $76.36. So whoever bought that did good. Oh, okay, so they were unable to identify the authenticity of it. And now they have
So it's worth bucket
way more.
loads.
Yeah. Anyway, there's probably a bunch more stuff about it, but frankly, who
Yeah,
cares?
who cares, yeah.
Donald Trump's awkward water bottle moment.
I mean, it is funny, but, like, you know, we don't need to go into it too much.
Well, it's only funny because he gave, like, somebody else shit about it in his campaign. Like, he had speeches of...
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't pay much attention to Donald Trump's campaign, to be honest.
No, until I read this article, I didn't know about it either. But then there's, like, videos of him, like, trying to pretend to be this other guy, throwing water around and playing with the bottle
Being a dickhead,
being a dickhead and then he goes and does the same shit. You're like, well,
Yeah.
who
Make sure
cares
your own
for a
ass-
start?
Yeah. Got to make sure your own ass doesn't stink before you complain about someone else smelling like shit.
Yeah. Lambie set for comeback.
I'm sure that was me that shared it, but I
No,
don't know
it wasn't.
why.
It was me.
Oh, why the fuck did you share that?
Because I thought I remembered that she was the Greens one, the first one to get out from the. No, right.
She was part of one of the senators of the Clive Palmer quadruple or whatever it was.
Ugh, that's yucky. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That Greens one, she was blonde.
Yeah, I don't know why the
Apart.
fuck. I mean,
No.
that means Jackie Lambie hasn't been too bad. I mean, she still wants all unemployed youth to join the military and stuff, because she joined the military and that sort of thing. But, you know, a lot of the stuff that she has said hasn't been too bad. Oh, shit. That's gonna...
Ouch.
had a bit of lag there.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't read all about it because the Australian wants me to subscribe. So
Oh, well, fuck it.
off. Unusual climate has expert baffled.
What are you talking about? It's just a bit hot.
It's because we're in an El Nino year, not El Nino.
And for the people like myself that don't understand your monkey speak,
Well, anyway, an unusual combination of climate conditions is confounding climate experts with the possibility that Australia could post a warmer and drier than average summer, even with an La Nina event being declared in the Pacific. So how people talk about El Nino cycle. Well, the other side of that is the La Nina cycle with the oceans. And
I don't understand any of that.
it's just the name of the ocean patterns.
Okay.
So El Nino brings different weather to the La Nina pattern.
Okay.
And El Nino is normally the dry, hot, everything dies. And La Nina is normally the milder, more rainy thing. But Australia is pitched to be dry as fuck, despite that. and this summer's supposed to be potentially one of the hottest. To which I was like, well, great.
I mean, it's already feeling pretty hot, to be honest.
Yeah, and we're already living in like the coldest part of Australia.
Yeah.
So,
Imagine
or maybe
we were
if we
living in,
headed
Tamworth or
like
something.
east a little, well, not east. If we headed, yes, south a little bit maybe. But
Oh, son of a bitch. Froze me. Oh, and he stabbed me. Oh, this is bullshit.
yeah, so the odds have shifted back from a cooler, wetter than average weather in the coming 3 months. And summer daytime and overnight temperatures are now leaning towards a warmer than average December, February, with Eastern Australia with the odds stronger for the top end and Tasmania. Yeah, but anyway, with predictions like that over the long term, it's pretty hard. But I was like, well,
Shit.
frack. Yeah.
Don't do it. Oh.
Oh, there's another fucking great one that Trump's done with his
Oh, brought back,
brought back the elephant trophies. Reverses ban on importing elephant trophies from Africa. What? Just to...
So now, I sort of agree with hunting animals in that if you do it like with your bare hands, because someone else on a different podcast said that, and I was like, yeah. If you kill a bear with your bare hands, or if you kill an elephant with your bare hands, fucking take that trophy home.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're doing it with your bare hands, maybe. Why you'd want an elephant, other than food, I don't know.
Just to say that you could.
Yeah, but you'd just be universally hated.
I don't care. I mean, maybe the rabbit elephant out there, like hunting for human flesh.
Rabbit elephant.
Yeah. Hunting for human flesh, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to because they're fairly peaceful animals and stuff like that. But maybe a hippo. Maybe a hippo's coming at you. Like they're vicious cunts.
Hippos, oh yeah, they're motherfuckers. Yeah.
You can see that, like if that was a life or death situation, because hippos are pretty rough. Well, hippo coming at you, wrestle it to the ground with your bare hands, break its neck.
Damn!
Take it home.
Shit, son. They'd probably get given a medal for that.
Of course you got a knife, otherwise you wouldn't be able to take the head off. Unless you had the strength to. But of course we're already talking about breaking a hippo's neck, so I suppose maybe you could just
have a neck, man.
Twisting it off, just sort of like twisting it just enough to the point that it just sort of comes off.
You've seen hippos?
Yeah.
You know how big those motherfuckers are?
Maybe I'm thinking of rats.
Alright, so get a rat. Alright, now that is half the size of a hippo's tooth.
Yeah, maybe you don't have to kill it. You could just take its tooth. Just take one of its teeth. They grow back, right, like a shark.
Well, that's what they're doing with a lot of the elephant sanctuaries, is tranquilizing them and taking their tusks off. Because then there's no reason to kill them.
Oh, that was the other one, wasn't it? They were painting the tusks pink, or dyeing the tusks pink.
Yeah, so it's useless.
Because it ruins the ivory or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's still threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Have fallen from around 10 million to less than 400,000. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, if I was in the wrong area and a lion came at me and took me out and I beat it to death with my bare hands and maybe a Bowie knife or something, I think fair enough. That's your lion. But with a high-powered rifle from 800 yards away.
That's how I'd take out a lion.
No, that's that's the coward's way.
But I kind of like sniping.
That's the way these poachers are doing it. That's
right.
But at what point then there's no challenge to it really. Once you know how to fire a gun.
Yeah.
The challenge there is firing the gun. Once you know how to fire the gun, you don't have to be shooting an animal to get that.
Yeah.
with the hunting with your bare hands. That's sort of like that's life and death.
Yeah, it'd be funny if the poacher sneaks into the sanctuary, and then suddenly all the fences are electrified. The electromagnet snatches the gun out of his hand, knife drops on the ground. And then the angry bull elephant's released.
See, now, I saw this story on Good News Week 100 years ago. And it was that this poacher, right, was chased by a bunch of angry hippos into a lion den.
Nice! That's just beautiful.
Because it was in the Good News Week, the mime bit. And so the dude's trying to mime this hunter, poacher, getting chased by a herd of angry hippos, or bloat, I think it is the thing. A bloat of angry hippos into a pride of lions. That's just messed. You'd just be running around the corner, and then there's just
oh, fuck.
At which point you sort of go, how did they doubt that? To which you'd think, I think there was someone else that sort of saw it.
Yeah.
But sort of witches the poacher, or either that it was another poacher. I think Paul McDermott made a joke about the second poacher retiring on his Australia's Australia's Funniest Home Video show or something. Prize wings. That's like the cattle dog that gave his owner mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Oh, dick!
What a bro!
Couldn't hear the lightning. Even though I should have seen it, but it was a bit covered. Yeah, at which Mikey Robbins was sort of like, how do they know he did CPR? It was just him and the dog. And they're like, yeah, the dog's not allowed in the house anymore. Oh no, honey, I swear it was mouth-to-mouth CPR.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would rather die than have my dog give me CPR. Damn.
He was licking it. The dog was licking its face and jumping on his chest.
Yeah. So chest compressions work.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Paul McDermott was doing this dog impression. And he was going. At first the dog was praising the master for the best play dead impression that she's ever seen. Next, she's a hero. What's a dog to think? Why am I getting a medal for this? You're so good at playing. I could not play dead that well. Master, you're so good at this. I mean,
Hey, I got another feel-good animal story for you.
No, what is it?
Man gets eel stuck in his anus,
Yeah.
but won't tell doctors how it got there.
That immediately
Big
raises
surprise.
question. Yeah, you would lie before you said, "I won't tell you how it happened," because immediately the brain goes, "You did something sexual with that eel, didn't you?"
Yeah, exactly. Just say somebody held it down, rammed a piece of polypipe up their ass, and up goes the eel.
Or even just, I'm a big fan of gay sex, and I was just in the pool one day, and then this eel just they're slippery, they're lubed up already, it just flew right up there.
Whoa, that man must be relaxed.
Can't feel his farts anymore.
Man has refused to tell doctors how an eel managed to get stuck up his anus while he was drunk. Well, it's funny. There's a sponsored ad for Barnaby Joyce just popped up on that article. Yeah. And now I'm picturing him with an eel up his ass. It's not a good picture. Anyway.
Oh, dick.
While
fuck,
he
I'm
was
running out of
drunk,
time.
a man in his 40s who did not want to be named was taken for treatment at Nanshang University Hospital in eastern China, where x-rays revealed the creature was in his abdomen.
Ugh.
Fucking got right up there.
I've been with fellas like, I mean,
What, you've been with fellas, huh? That were long enough to get to you. I know. Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. Cut that off.
called him horse.
Oh, God, why? Doctor said the Asian swamp eel had wriggled its way up the man's body and was causing a serious obstruction.
That's like the woman that trained a horse to have sex with her.
Ruptured her inside.
No, sorry, it wasn't a woman, it was a dude.
Mm.
And yeah, to have anal sex with him and ruptured his internal organs, and he was so ashamed to go to the hospital he just sort of dealt with it until he died. Yeah, I can't remember if he was a Darwin Award or not.
I can't remember. It was a weird ass doco saw ages ago about. I think it was just about weird sexual preferences, but there was a couple on there, and they were a couple, but they were like couples with their animals as well. And there was a little pony that they both liked, but you know, it was his pony. You know, give love bites and stuff, and then like a week after they finished filming this, the horse like ruptured his anus. He had to go to hospital, and yeah, he got in trouble for that.
That is so weird.
It's messed up. It's illegal. Like, you got charged for it.
Yeah, I suppose because that's cruelty to the animal. Well, not really. Even that,
I
not
don't know,
really.
the horse was having fun.
Yeah, the horse was fine. You know, I don't know if you should be charged for that. Because, like, you know, it's not like you're raping the horse is raping you. The horse is fine. The horse is getting his end off. This is the best ever. I get fed and I get to have sex.
Sweet.
Yeah. Tighter than any horse bitch I've ever been with.
Skin dark, man. Yeah. Anyway.
You know, if you want to get fucked by an animal, that's your decision. I reckon the animal would be up for it, particularly if it was like a horny dog or something.
Big eel they pulled out of him.
That's what she said.
Arrived drunk.
Oops.
Blah. It's not the first time doctors in China have had to remove eels from people's bodies.
Ah, of course. Oh wait, no, this isn't Japan. This isn't
49-year-old man named Liu from southern China had the same species of eel removed from his intestines after he shoved one of the animals up his anus to cure constipation. It might work. I mean, they're slimy.
Yeah, but I feel as though the eel itself would be an obstruction.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just get like a douche
Well, maybe
of
he was
eel slime?
Yeah, or maybe just go with the old-fashioned enema. Really, you know.
Yeah, that's just water.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some dude had one up his ass as a prank. Yeah, wow. Cases did not end there. Eelgate saw a
Eelgate.
20-year-old vlogger known as Kiki put a condom over an Asian swamp eel and use it to masturbate during a live broadcast. That's fucked up. The animal became stuck inside her during the July live stream and she needed life-saving surgery afterwards.
Ugh.
Dang.
Oh, bullshit. That's it. I'm just going to make a clip show of all of my best fights in this, and then I'm going to upload it so that people think, oh, I'm pretty sure I said this in the last one that I haven't uploaded yet. But I'll fucking do it.
Ugh.
We were going to do more of that stuff in the Papers, Please video, but then Ruben decided to mess with it.
Now his name's on the internet.
I'll just bleep it out.
ASIO will have him.
I'll just bleep it out.
For no reason. No reason at all.
He does not do anything.
We can mention Mugabe. If we like.
Yeah, you just mention it.
It ties in with the elephant one because it said that Zimbabwe is currently under a military coup.
Because I think a lot of military people have had jack shit of Robert Mugabe.
Yeah, and he's ancient and feeble and did a shit job to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Mugabe will be dismissed as president of Zimbabwe. The end is near for Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, who is set to be dismissed after meeting army chiefs, according to reports. State television announced the African leader would meet military commanders today, quoting Catholic priest Fidelis Unpronounceable.
And I don't know how anyone could go, oh, Robert Mugabe, he's done an alright job with Zimbabwe.
Yeah. After the meeting, the ruling party ZANU-PF acronym anyway is expected to bring Mugabe's 37-year rule to an end and dismiss him and reinstate Emerson Mnangagwa.
That's racist.
Mnangagwa. It's hard to say, alright? Mnangagwa? Mnangagwa. Yes! I'm going to just say the M is silent. The vice president he fired, according to Reuters sources. Right, there you go. The 93-year-old has already effectively seen his power removed after the army seized control of the country on Wednesday in a coup. 93. Christ.
You wonder
why do assholes like that live longer?
Yeah, I know.
And then people like you see at work every day who are perfectly wonderful people. Fucking dementia at 60 and dead.
Yeah. Because they've got the money to be able to afford the best services, usually. I mean, I'm surprised no one's done it earlier, to be honest. With Mugabe.
Yeah. Haven't they had little spats and had a go at it once or twice?
And I suppose that people in Germany did try and remove Hitler before the end of World War II.
That worked.
Can't blame them for trying. That's it. I'm sick of this shit.
It says, but Mugabe's nephew Patrick Zuhuao, speaking from an undisclosed location in South Africa, said earlier the leader and his wife were ready to die for what is correct rather than step down. Correct!
Yeah, he is the most sanctimonious. Is that the right word? Cunt. He just honestly believes that he is, like, the best thing since sliced bread.
Yep. What a motherfucker. Right. Oh, Keystone pipeline oil spill. Yeah, it was a motherfracker. Fracking, get it? Anyway, it's good good old long history of pipelines leaking in America after they say, oh, no, they would never leak. It's such safe technology. Oh, shit. There goes that river. Yeah, so there's an oil spill in South Dakota. It's coming down from a line coming out of Canada. It's a Canadian company. And this is like it's different to like crude oil. Crude oil's like really, it's really runny and to the surface really quick apparently. But this stuff is a asphalt style oil.
Okay.
It's a dirty production. They have to use water and shit to get it out of like this shale and gravel and shit that they have to get it out of. And then, it's really thick, which apparently one of the big problems with it is that heaps more gets out before you realise there's a leak. So a viscous type of oil called diluted bitumen or tar sand oil flows through the Keystone pipeline. Because it's so thick, leaks can be difficult to detect. If the oil does spill, it's often far more detrimental to sensitive water sources. Bitumen is also one of the dirtiest fuels in the world. Unlike conventional crude, which has been pumped directly from the ground, water is required to separate the heavy tar-like substance from the sand it's found in, a process that depletes and pollutes freshwater resources.
Fascinating.
Well, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of it.
It is, but we're out of time, so.
Well, anyway, TransCanada are pricks.
Alright, catch us later.